Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to our series of 5 reasons why the top 20 or so teams in the NBA could win an NBA championship if everything goes right. But today we have an actual contender. Yes, they're without Ja Morant for the first 25 games, but the Memphis Grizzlies have a really good basketball team. Jaren Jackson Jr., Desmond Bane, Marcus Smart, and we're talking about your second through fourth options after the 25th game of the year. People aren't really talking about them, but this is a team that will surprise you if you sleep on them. They get Steven Adams back. Remember, they were much better in the paint with Adams last year than without. Such an X factor. Luke Kennard shot at like 54% from 3 for them last year. They bring in D Rose, and then GG Jackson is a wild card. So we will talk about all of this and more in today's video. So make sure you stick around for the full video. Hit that like button, leave me a comment, hit that subscribe button. We're about 10 days away from the start of the season, and we're trying to hit 10K by the time the season starts. We're only about 120 subscribers away, so hit that subscribe button. We need to get like 12 subs a day, and we will get there. Now, reason number 1, guard play. Yes, Ja Morant is out 25 games, but let's stop acting like that's 82 games. If they can stay afloat, if they can be like 15-10 by the time Ja comes back, which they can. I mean, you're talking about a guy that averages 26, 8, and 6. Come on now. That is a NBA superstar, megastar even. 47% from the field, 31% from 3 in 31 minutes per game for Trey J. And then, or not Trey J. What am I talking about? For Ja Morant. Sorry. Trey J he's a different guy there. He's pretty important as well. But Desmond Bane will be the lead star for this Grizzlies team for the first 25 games of the year. And then maybe they just let him keep the reins. But 21.5 points, 4.5 assists, 5 rebounds. Dude was a monster last year, and he was the second option behind Ja. Super efficient, kind of the Clay to Ja's Steph, if you will. 48% from the field, 41% from 3, 1 steal. And he's more than just, he's going to have more than just 16 field goal attempts per game this year, because he's gonna be the guy, the go-to guy for the first 25 games of the year, and we'll see what he can make of it. And then you also have Marcus Smart, 11.5 points, 6.5 assists, 3.5 rebounds per game for him. Coming over from the Boston Celtics, obviously, in the whole Kristaps Porzingis trade. Celtics fans were sad to see him go, but once they watch KP for a little bit, they will be just fine. 42% from the field for Marcus Smart, 34% from 3, 1.5 steals. He's going to bring in kind of the attitude that they lost when they lost Dylan Brooks. He's just not going to try to talk crap to LeBron, and that's probably a very smart thing. Luke Kennard also cannot be left out. 11.3 points, 3.1 rebounds, and 2.3 assists per game on 54% shooting from 3 on 7 attempts a game. Absolutely outrageous stuff from Luke Kennard. I mean, the definition of that one white boy in the AAU tournaments. And then they also signed Derrick Rose as an extra point guard. Now, they should be controlling the paint. This is reason number 2 here. Last year, they were 4th in the NBA in rebounds per game, 4th in offensive rebounds, 2nd in defensive rebounds, and number 2 in blocks per game when Steven Adams was on the court. Now, after his injury, those numbers really went down. Actually, I think they were like 1st in 3 of those 4 categories with Steven Adams. Last year, he put up 8.5 points, 11.5 rebounds, and 2 assists. Definition of a guy that you're not going to see him pop out on the stat sheet, but he is a guy that is so important to this Grizzlies team. Aquaman coming back will have huge implications for the Grizzlies. And then Jaren Jackson Jr.'s breakout year. It should be his show without Ja. It'll be Desmond Bane to begin with, but it should be his show on the offensive side of the ball without Ja Morant. 18.5 points a game last year, 7 rebounds, and 1 assist for Jaren. I mean, dude, he's a monster. He's a unicorn at 6'10", such a great defender as well, but offensively, I think he's going to take an even bigger step forward this year. 51% from the field, 36% from 3, and he averaged 3 blocks a game. I know there was that stuff with the whole Memphis Grizzlies scorekeeper thing, but he averaged 3 blocks a game in 28 minutes. That's one of, if not the best defensive seasons of all time from a center. Now, the youth stepping up is number 3. They got some young guys on this team that are going to need to step up, one of which is Zaire Williams. 6 points per game, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. A guy that I think, they drafted a couple of years ago to come in and be maybe the successor to Dylan Brooks potentially. He hasn't really lived up to that in 43% from the field, 26% from 3 in 15 minutes. Maybe he will at some point. I'm not seeing it right now, though. Santi Aldama, 9 points a game, 5 rebounds, 1.3 assists. He's another guy here, another post that they have alongside of Steven Adams and company. 47% from the field, 35% from 3, 21 minutes a night. And then Jake LaRavia, a guy you should look out for this year. As a rookie, put up 3 points per game, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. Not fantastic, but not terrible by any means. 39% from the field, 34% from 3 in 12 minutes per game for him. And then finally, David Roddy. If any of these 4 guys, if like 2 of these 4 guys can step up, that'd be huge for the Grizzlies. 6.7 points a game, 2.8 rebounds, and 1 assist. A guy that looked really good in the summer league, 43% from the field, 31% from 3 last year as a rookie in 18 minutes. So, but if, like I said, if 2 of those 4 guys can step up, huge for this Grizzlies team. Now, reason number 5 is the clamps. Last year, they were 2nd in defensive rating, and that was, again, without Steven Adams for half the year. Jaren Jackson Jr. missed a good amount of time. They add a former defensive player of the year with Marcus Smart. Now, I know they lose Dylan Brooks, but they got 2 guys that will be in the running for defensive player of the year this year, 2 potential depoys, and Jaren Jackson Jr., who we just talked about, averaging like 3 blocks a game, and then Marcus Smart, one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA, former defensive player of the year, like we said. So they should have some really, really good defense. And then, like we said, Steven Adams will be back. So now let's take a look at the lineups for this year. These are just my projected lineups. I'm not saying this is what the lineup will be, but if I was the coach, which I mean, there are obvious reasons that I am not an NBA head coach, but if I was the coach, this is what my lineup will be. Ja, Marcus Smart, Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr., Steven Adams. Why are people not talking about this more? This is a deadly lineup right now. Now, I know Ja's out for the first 25 games. But like I said, if they can just stay like 15-10, they will be just fine. This is what the lineup will probably look like without Ja. You've got to get Luke Kennard in there. I mean, the man shot at 54% from 3 last year. Marcus Smart, Defensive Player of the Year candidate. You got Desmond Bane, who, like we said, will be getting a lot of touches to begin the year this year. I mean, hey, look out for this Memphis Grizzlies squad. You got the Aquaman and Jaren Jackson Jr. back together in the front court. A lot of excitement. You also got Derrick Rose, who will get increased PT whenever Ja Morant is not out there. Now, taking a look at the bench, they have D. Rose, Luke Kennard, Zaire Williams, Brandon Clark, and Santi Aldama. This is a very good bench. Am I saying his name right? I believe I am. Maybe not. But with Luke Kennard, you got the shooting. Zaire Williams brings potential to be a really good defender, scored a little bit. D. Rose is that veteran leadership. Aldama is another guy that is young, hopefully can break out. If not, they have other guys they can stick in there. And then Brandon Clark, coming off of that injury last year, should be a very welcome addition back into the lineup. Remember, they lost him for the year, and then they lost the Aquaman, and things just started going downhill for them. This is a Grizzlies team I think people need to look out for. They also have John Conchar. That's how you say it, right? David Roddy, Jake LaRavia. I don't know why they're both doing that pose in the picture, but any of those 3 guys can be inserted into the lineup at any point. This is a deep team. What we saw last year with them, losing guys to injuries, they shouldn't have as big of a problem with that this year. Josh Christopher also, I think he signed a 2-way deal with the Jazz, so there is potential for him to come back to Memphis. And then you have G.G. Jackson as well. They're a guy that potentially could be getting some minutes for the Grizzlies. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Make sure to the like button and leave me a comment if you did enjoy at any point. Like I said, I'm not saying that the Grizzlies will win the NBA championship this year by any means, but I'm kind of going through doing a series. If they do win the NBA championship, that is the 5 reasons why they will be contenders this year. I think this is a team to look out for. I mean, this is definitely a squad that can get it done. We will see if they can get over the hump with Ja for the first time, though. With that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Hit the like button, leave me a comment down below, hit that subscribe button, and with all that being said, thanks so much for watching today's video.